Hey, this is Lisa.
And this is Randy.
And we are season 1, episode
8. This is our final episode for
Final
this season.
episode for the season.
Tell us how you feel about us. We don't really care.
No. But thank you.
We love y'all for listening. This was such a beautiful experience. Sure, thanks.
Lavender.
Look at us. Lavender.
No,
so, yeah.
What are we talking about today? So what we're
end
talking
this up
about
on a funny note.
On a funny note. So today, I know sometimes we talk about yoga and other shit, and today would be yoga and the other shit.
The yoga shit.
The yoga shit. All the yoga shit. There it is.
All the yoga shit.
All the yoga shit, yes. So today is about etiquette, schmetiquette.
Etiquette, schmetiquette.
So what is the proper etiquette for even entering a yoga studio?
So first, let's dispel myths.
Okay.
First myth is like yoga is come as you are, because it is, but it isn't.
It's not.
How should you not come to yoga class?
You should not come to yoga class, not bathe. So you should be clean. You should be free from odors. Your mat should be free from odors. And if you use a towel to cover your mat, that should also be free from odors.
So when we say not bathe, because some people do come straight from work.
I just mean bathe that morning.
Yeah.
No. When I say bathe, I think I mean that you shouldn't be stinky.
But I have an anecdote. Like,
what?
I know somebody who was going to a hot yoga class with me in the morning and woke up and was like, well, I'll just go because I'm going to sweat when I get there. I was mortified.
And some people that don't have a funky odor might be able to pull that off.
But how do you know? Because everybody don't smell themselves.
You have to smell yourself.
But everybody don't smell themselves even when they smell themselves.
Because when I wake, I sweat when I sleep.
Me
because
too.
I'm hot. So when I wake up, I always smell like
sleep.
I smell like sleep, you know? And it's not that I have a bad odor. It's not horrible, but I smell like, ooh, you need to wipe yourself down.
My worst nightmare is being in a yoga class. And even though we don't teach hot yoga at our studio where we teach, it's still a warm class and we have heaters on. But my worst nightmare is being next to somebody in a hotter or warm yoga class where we're sweating and releasing all of our stuff, and being next to somebody and I can smell what they drank last night, what they smoked last night.
I've been in that.
I can smell that you didn't shower today.
Mm-hmm. I've moved my mat.
And that is now I can't breathe because all I'm supposed to do is breathe.
Breathe, and you got to hold your breath. I have physically moved my mat when that's happened. No, for real. And then, honestly, I've been teaching before and it's happened. And I don't do it on purpose, but then I do. That's why I keep oils and stuff in class. One, because I love oils and stuff. But then if I hit a side of the room where it gets tight, I'm like, whoo, come back over here.
Yeah.
Whoo, flow through the crowd because you can smell it.
So,
people aren't always mindful.
So when you go into your yoga class, be mindful of how you smell.
Yeah.
And wash your gym clothes.
So look.
Wash your gym clothes.
If your clothes, your gym clothes get wet, right? So once they get wet, they're sweat and they absorb it. And if they sit somewhere, just like the towel that you practice on, that absorbs all of that sweat, you have to be able to, wash it with a nice, firm, strong detergent. No, look, I'm all organic and everything, but I can't wash myself in organic stuff.
You need some old school Tide.
I need some Tide.
Arm & Hammer.
I need some bounce. And other than that, I don't use those type of, but my clothes, I can't
you
smell
can't get the odors
that.
out.
No, you got to be able to get that funk out.
I have gone through so many rounds of yoga clothes, particularly when I was in South Florida, because it was all hot yoga.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in sweat and I'm sweating. So after a while, it just washes different. It doesn't
totally
smell
different
fresh. It just smells like something's in it, like a little mildewy or something. So I just throw it.
And this is what happens. It is the mildew smell, which I think a lot of people miss. So that mildew smell, then if you have a towel that you're practicing on, the mildew smell seeps into the towel and you keep washing it and it's not working. The same thing is true about your mat. You keep washing it and it's not working. And I've had to tell some people before.
It's bacteria.
It's bacteria and it's funk, but I've been like, you gotta throw that mat away. They
you told me to throw my shoes away. Remember?
Did I? Okay, I probably did.
I came back from Costa Rica, and I remember I was telling you I went in the mud. We went in the jungle, and I had on those gym shoes. Yeah, and I was like, I washed them, but they still smell like the jungle. And you were like, oh no, throw them away. That's some bacteria.
Because that's not gonna get out. that type of stuff doesn't come. If you've washed them and the smell has not changed,
throw it away.
Throw it away.
It's done.
You can't hold on to that.
So same for like your yoga clothes, your workout clothes, your towel, and your mat. Yes. Like if there's something funky in it, it's not serving you.
Throw it away.
For your mat, your face is right here. Your face is like right there.
But some people, even though it's right there, some people can't smell it.
Yeah.
Like they can't even smell that. But before my class, my teacher, he had told everybody. He just made a global announcement. I'm saying global because it was just in the class. And he said that it was just really disrespectful to come to class.
It is so disrespectful and that's to come to class.
He was like, yoga is a practice of love and a practice of giving. And he was, it's rude and it's disrespectful to show up in the space. It's not respectful to your fellow yogis. You know, if you come in with a stench or a stink, so you should take care of your bodies. You should take care of your mat.
That is part of taking care of your body.
It's part of taking care of it. And then, when he said it, I knew what he was going for. But he said it so cool and so smooth that it worked. But it was
nasty.
It's right. It's a certain scent that comes with it. So just be mindful of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm very aware. Outside of washing up a lot a day because I am in and out of hot places. I also keep napkins with me. I'm sorry, wet naps with me, and I'm like
wiping yourself out. Whole bath.
That's what you call it, right? Yes. Yeah, but like I whole bath many times a day just so I won't.
And then changing your sports bra, changing your leggings because, well, for me, I got a lot of thigh action. That sweat sits right there. I gotta change.
You gotta change.
I cannot continue to go from class to class or run errands sitting in that because. And then being all day and then go teach an evening class and then it's disgusting.
So what I'll do, I'll bring an extra change of clothes, and then now what happens if my sports bra starts to sweat? Even during the class, if it sweats and it sits on me during class, I have to change it immediately after class, or my skin.
You get chafing or something?
Yes, and it'll start to itch and stuff. And so we talked about the dry skin brushing. So like I have to dry skin brush, and I just load my chest like with castor oil to make that stuff from stop coming. But I've seen it on other people, and they're not aware of where it is. Like
where it's coming from.
Right, they don't know where it's coming. Like sometimes the people are in wheelchairs or in beds and they can't really move like that.
We've seen those bed sores and the skin rashes from sitting in the same place. And we're in sports bras and stuff all the time. So that material's sitting right here.
It's sitting right here. So I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. But in my mind, I'm a doctor. So I hadn't made a doctor's appointment because I kept going, well, it's got to be something. So then when I started looking, I said, oh, it's discolored. Oh, my sports bra. Okay, let me just cleanse this top layer of skin. Oh, let me, do that. And now it chills out. Sometimes it flares up more, but it flares up more when I practice more because I'm in my sports bra.
Right.
More.
Okay. So we're talking about the smells, but the smells that people think are good smells, please don't come like over perfume.
Yeah, because I have a lot of allergies to that. I can only really smell
and not even you. Other
oils.
people could be sick, or like you could have pregnant people in the class. Funny story. Did you hear about the lemon that I did in class?
No.
We had a pregnant student, and she came to class one day after I had gotten some lemon essential oils, and I shook it around the class, but it was a new bottle, so it went swoosh, swoosh, right, it just shot out. And so she comes in class and she lays down her mat, and I didn't even know she was pregnant at the time. She was early, so she wasn't showing, and she said, did Jamel wax the floors? And I just died. I was like, I'm so sorry. It's so much lemon. And then I explained, and then she was like, oh my God. And then after class, she did the whole class, and then she told me she was pregnant. I felt like shit.
But did it bother her?
It did. But she did the class anyway. And so I'm conscientious of not overpowering, even though it's essential oils or natural. I think
don't want to offend.
And then I don't want to offend. I don't know what people's allergies are.
I
know. And then the whole perfume thing is just, once perfume and sweat starts mixing together, it
smells like perf, sweat, funk.
Perfume,
perf, sweat, funk is what it smells like, right?
I couldn't even say what you just said, but yes,
that's what
disgusting.
It is. So we're talking, and then, okay, so what should you wear for yoga?
Comfortable clothes. So
2019, so we're closing this out in 2018 with, what are you going to do? You've never been to the studio. You haven't practiced yet. Why are you staying away from yoga? What is it that you're afraid of? What's the yoga etiquette? What are you supposed to bring? What are you supposed to do? So comfortable clothes. And comfortable clothes for you could be a t-shirt and shorts. Don't feel like you have to overdress this thing up.
No.
For it. No, you can come sports bra,
leggings, whatever,
tank top, leggings.
Everything has shorts. Yoga on it. You go to Target and be yoga section.
Yoga, Old Navy. You can go to all these places. TJ Maxx. Always
favorite.
Gets really, really good.
So here is my suggestion for people who've never been to a yoga class, who are a little bit hippie. check your waist length of your leggings. So I've discovered since I've started teaching that it's better for me to purchase high-waisted leggings than mid-waist or low. So when I started practicing, I would just buy whatever was at TJ Maxx. I didn't even really look at the fact that you had different options of the waist. And during class, I'd find myself like reaching in the back, pulling it up because I'm, showing butt crack to everybody. But now that I'm teaching, it's really important for me to make sure so I'm not a distraction.
And you're covered.
Yes. And so with that said, same for my boobs. So I'm not a distraction, because it's a distraction for me to keep stuffing my stuff back in place because I done went down, up, over, and I'm everywhere. So just secure your shit.
I don't really have that issue.
Yeah, it's a problem.
I've
seen it with students who brought their cute outfit to class, or even just their regular everyday bra with a tank top, not realizing how much up, down. And
it is, and it'll keep doing that for you.
And if you have boobs, they up to your chin when you're upside down. So then when they come in, I'm like, oh shit, I'm showing nipple.
You got to be able to control it and keep them stuff down.
And you just don't want to be distracted.
No.
So just secure your package. Guys, if you are comfortable in basketball shorts, maybe wear some compression shorts underneath so you're not hanging and slinging or popping out.
Right. All over the place. That's true.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple of guys have asked me, well, what do I wear?
Well, I was in a yoga class before, and a guy came in with some Superman underwear.
Superman underwear?
Like you would put on your sons? Like it had an S? It had an S in the front of the... It's
not even funny.
No, I'm serious, though.
It's not even funny.
But the whole class, I was watching him because I was just really entertained. Like, I wasn't turned on. He didn't excite me or anything. But I was so fascinated that he came in with underwear on.
I'm offended. I shouldn't be. I guess there's naked yoga, there's goat yoga, there's wine yoga.
It was a Bikram class.
But they weren't Speedos? They were underwear? Because I've seen people in Speedos.
No, it was like it was.
It was the underwear.
It was the kind you would put like on your 4-year-old.
Okay.
I don't know.
No.
Well, if it works, right?
Whatever.
So we're talking. What else were we talking about? Yoga etiquette.
What do you do when you come into a class? First things first. Most yoga studios have a place to put your shoes.
Yes. So don't walk into the studio with your shoes on. You should always take your shoes off before you even enter.
So many reasons.
You want to get into them?
Germs. Period.
Disgusting.
In Asian cultures, you can't even come in the house. All shoes stay outside.
I prefer that. I don't even like it when my children
come in the house.
Take your shoes off. Don't walk into my bathroom with your shoes on. It's disgusting. You've been out in the elements of the world, and then you bring that back in here. Leave it at the door.
Yeah.
And I'll clean it up then.
Yeah. So no shoes in the studio, but also because sometimes we are off of our mat. And so if we come off of our mat and we're on the regular floor that you've just walked on with your disgusting shoes, and my arm or my hand or my foot or my face it's just not cool.
It's just nasty.
It's just not cool.
So don't wear shoes inside of the yoga studio. Mm-hmm. That's not one. 2, when you come in, they generally have mats. So bring a mat with you. You should bring water, a towel if you're going to need it, if you're going to sweat. But then still bring it just in case you need to, dab if you get greasy or something. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Your yoga mat, and a lot of studios have them either for free or for rental. Whatever's works for you.
So when you roll out your mat, people tend to do this. A lot of times people don't realize. I've been in particularly at gyms, yoga classes at gyms, where people think this is just like a regular class and don't understand that a lot of people come to yoga, that's their 1 hour of peace a day. And so kind of feel the vibe. Like if we're in like a fun, like a trap class where people are talking and laughing, okay, you can do it. But if you walk into like a more mellow environment where people are peacefully meditating, don't come in on your phone. Don't come in shaking your keys around everybody. Don't throw your mat down.
So this is what happens. I need a napkin. So this is what people will do. And I don't mind it as much unless class is started. Before class starts,
you got to get situated.
You got to get situated, but
still be mindful if other people are in there. This is the
yoga floor. Okay. This is the best thing I'll do. So this is a yoga floor. Right. Say we're in, the first few minutes of class and somebody comes in late. So I'm going to do all the sound effects. That's the door. Them coming in.
Okay.
That's them walking in. Is the mat. Like, don't do that. No, I'm serious. No, I'm serious, but people do this every single day.
And
they do it every single day.
Unzip, so then you unzip.
And they think, this is what I think they think. I think they think, let me hurry up and get in the studio and do everything in the studio. But no, stay in the lobby and do all of that. So if you have straps on your mat, that sound right there, do that in the lobby. Don't do that. And then if you carry a yoga strap around you in the bag, don't do that. Once you get in the studio and class is started. If class is not started yet,
sure,
I got you all day. Like, come in with all of that. But it seems like the loudest people are the latest people, and they come in and I can tell that they're rushing. The mood is already really zenned out, candles lit, like everybody's chilling. Class hasn't started yet. We're all just acknowledging our breath and we're breathing, or maybe we're going through our first salutation. I don't know. And then here it comes.
I don't need all that. That's so disruptive. It's disruptive in any class. A kickboxing class, a yoga class, a piano lesson. It's just disruptive.
In some yoga studios, which we allow this, but some yogas, you can't even come in there late.
Yeah.
If you are 1 minute late, sorry, door locked. We'll see you at the next class.
That's very true.
You can't even
No money back.
No money back. And I know some teachers that won't allow students to come in late. Like, don't come in here with that. No, we'll see you at the next class time. I'm okay with it. I know, and I guess probably because I understand how it is. Like, if I'm rushing, I done drop people off. If it was traffic, I really need to get to this class. But just if you're going to come in with so much respect, like you were going to enter the middle of a church sermon. You know, you wouldn't run into a church sermon like,
yeah.
And throw it like, chill out. Come in gracefully.
Yeah. Another thing is when people leave class early. So it can't be helped. You have your schedule, you have your time. But one of the things that is one of the most important parts of your class is the end, which is the Savasana and your final meditation, and to peacefully absorb all of the breath, all of the asana.
Yes.
So for some people, you have to go and just do it quietly, just leave. But I remember there was somebody that I knew that every single class she skipped Savasana. And it to the point where the teacher became offended, because it was like, just don't even come if you're not going to do the last 10 minutes of class.
Do you know, one of my yoga friends just told me that story last week.
It must be a thing.
She just said it. She said this guy kept coming to her class. He kept leaving early. And then she was like, hey, in the middle of him walking out, like, don't do that. Because then, also, how could I forget this? Damn it, this is the part. Okay, so we got to rewind this.
Back to the etiquette.
You walk in the studio, back to the etiquette. After you throw your yoga mat down, then you take the cleaner and go.
Before you eat.
Dog. And sometimes I want to look like, dog, what are you doing?
What are you
doing? Stop doing that.
Don't do that.
So anyway, that's what he was doing. So it's Savasana.
So first I'm leaving early, and then I'm going to be all loud.
And then here's the mat, and then goes. So she's like, yo, stop it. Don't do that. And you always leave her early. So if it's every once in a while that you have to leave early, I understand.
I have a friend that was like, straight up, I don't come to yoga for that hippy dippy bullshit. Like, I come for the workout, I come for the chaturanga, I come for the other stuff, and I don't need to hear all that at the end. I don't need to like hear the inspirational words from the teacher. I don't need to hear the meditation. I don't need to lay. I just need to get up and go. I'm a runner. I like to work out. I like to jump in jacks. I don't like to. That's not why I come here. And I was mind blown, because I was like, bitch, that's exactly why I come here. So, I only do those other things so I can get to this.
And because maybe if you don't understand, at the end, this final resting pose, this Savasana zips you up. It seals everything in.
That you just...
So once you have done everything, you have to zip it in, and that's the enlightenment moment that you suck everything in. So it is.
It's important.
It's important. So every Monday I take a class, right, with one of my friends, but I teach right after him. So I have to leave
during
early. I even leave before then because I have to take a shower. So I make sure that, this past class I put my mat in the back by the door. So consciously, I'm being conscious, so I'm not being disrespectful. I practice. Once I look at the clock, I got like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I start my yin poses, and then I lay in Savasana. When I'm done, I grab my phone and just head out the back door. I don't make any type of noise, go downstairs, take my shower, come back. But no, And then, he knows I'm coming to pick my Mac back up. So I don't expect anybody to clean it up for me.
Right.
But I'm not going to also make
disrupt the class.
I just sneak out like a Kaiser Sose moment. Like, one moment I'm there and the next moment I'm gone.
Love that.
Poof.
Love that movie. Don't you love that movie?
Remember, he was like, poof, and then he's gone.
What are your things that, like, I'm getting more open the more I teach, but what are, like, some of your pet peeves that people do in class? Other than the things we've just said.
That we expand. Oh, those are all of those right there.
Do you care about passing gas?
No.
Because a lot of people are afraid to even go to yoga class because all they heard is like yoga equals farting.
I probably don't care. Also because I'm a massage therapist.
So people release.
People release all the time. So I'm not offended by weird noises. That's natural to me. Like, I've been working on people before, and they're like, Lisa, if you push right there, I'm like, don't hold it because this is going to make this massage even more uncomfortable. Let it out, and I just drop more peppermint. I add more to my diffuser.
It's different in a yoga class, but I feel like on that table, and you're a little person.
Because it's just me and another person. In yoga, nobody really knows where it's coming from. Unless it's an intimate class, a smaller class. Or the person next to you hears it. But if it's silent...
A lot of times people be like, sorry. If they let it go, they just be like, sorry.
No, I don't care. I don't even acknowledge that they did it.
So, twists are wind removing poses.
Absolutely. So and that's what it's for. We're supposed to be clearing the colon, like, whoop.
So if you're afraid of, like, being gassy in a yoga class, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No. And if you need to leave to go poop, go leave and go poop.
Yeah.
Just wipe your butt really, really good before you come back. Yeah, right? Yeah. Why you looking like that? Because, this is what will happen if you don't wipe your butt really, really good. Yeah, I'm just saying. Because we're talking about it. Because if you don't wipe your butt really, really good, and then you start sweating.
What are y'all out here doing?
And then butt juices mixed with sweat juices. That could turn into... What
are y'all doing?
That could turn into a whole nother reaction.
That is disgusting. But I guess
since we're talking about it,
I guess we do have to tell adults a lot of stuff.
If you have to tell an adult, make sure you don't stink before you come to class. Like, you shouldn't even leave the house if you stink.
You might have to tell them to wash your tail. Wipe
you gotta do that. Or where's my rose water? If you gotta.
What y'all doing? Okay, wipe. Well.
Wipe well. Outside of those, I don't care about people passing gas.
No.
I don't care if people don't do the practice and they need to chill. They should come and do whatever it is that they need to do. I don't care about that. It's just really the loud or the disrespectful things.
Have you heard, like, a lot of guys feel like they can't come because they'll be too distracted by women's asses?
Yeah, and I think that's stupid.
It's dumb.
I have heard that before.
But then I feel like then you're distracted from doing everything.
I totally agree.
If you're that dude, you can't do nothing.
But I've heard people say, I can't go to your class because what? One, I don't do the poses when I teach. I'll do the poses sometimes if I need to instruct to show you, but I'm not taking the full hour going through everything. I might have to do some of it.
I flow with my class. I do.
I know. I don't. Sometimes I do.
Sometimes I don't, but mostly I do.
So mostly I don't. Mostly I just
got a whole lot of junk in my trunk.
Yeah, so people are going to be looking at you.
And I don't care.
I know, because you'll be...
You shouldn't be looking at me.
Because you're going to be face down.
Ass up. That's the way. Face down. That's the way we...
Yeah, that's it.
No. But the reality is, okay, so maybe the first time you come, you're a little distracted, nice looking, decent looking people in my tight clothes.
You should be so into yourself and your breath.
I was just going to say, and then if you like it, you come back, maybe you're less distracted. And then the third time you're less distracted. And then the fourth time you're coming back because it is a practice that is serving you well.
Right.
So what you going to do?
I'm with you. But I do also know that this energy that we exchange between people and these physical things about ourselves, we do find attractive about each other. You have to figure out a way to move through that so that you're the higher good and not the person that's teaching you. Right. You have to make this practice about you and not about your teacher.
Right.
So you'll be good with it.
Do you think anybody's ever had a crush on you?
No one's ever said anything in yoga.
Me either.
No one's ever said anything to me.
No.
And if
how would you respond? I was gonna say, how would you respond?
Here comes Mace. No, it's fine. We're mommies. Roll down the window. This is real life. What's up, Mace?
Can I get in?
No, we're doing our podcast, baby. What do you need? You want to say hi?
You have Randy's son.
Yes. Okay, bye.
Hi.
Guys, this is another We're Mommy's moment. The kids are in the house. Yep, it is
what it is.
The kids are in the house and we're in the car. What did you say?
About the crush. Like, how do you think you would
no one's
respond?
ever said that.
Thanks?
See, I know.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, no, that's sweet.
I know sometimes I can...
See you next Wednesday.
I know sometimes I can be really sarcastic. So I have to watch that because I can be sarcastic. I'm very into it, but then I'm also can be extremely sarcastic. Like, I understand.
So
have a great day.
So I go to Jabs, which is a kickboxing gym downtown, yep. And sometimes we do a it's Love Sydney too. So and sometimes we do a yoga teacher rotation there. So if you're in the Detroit area, go to Jabs on Friday for yoga or for kickboxing or for whatever. Anyway, everybody that works there is fine as fuck.
That's awesome. I love that.
Men, women, everybody is gorgeous.
I love that.
Gorgeous.
I love that.
I wonder how they handle that.
I don't know. You know, if someone has said something to me, or maybe I've been oblivious and it's gone like this and I haven't even realized that they did. But if they did, this is what I heard my teacher say before. If a student tried to talk to him, he said that I understand this, and yoga is a practice of discipline, and I have enough discipline for the both of us.
Beautiful. Thank you, whoever said that.
Is that beautiful?
If anybody was to, well, first of all, people not gonna come holler at me, but if you like lost your marbles and tried to, I would.
Why do you say that?
I think I'm very I'm one of those people that drop husband a lot. I drop that a lot, so I put that out there a lot in terms of, so even if you were, you might not have been thinking about it, but if in case you were,
husband.
Yeah, and I wear my band. Yeah. Like I didn't used to because I was afraid of hurting myself. And I was like, but this doesn't have anything.
Right.
Yeah, so but people don't care. I get that. People don't people shoot their shot. They don't care. But I think I would say that.
Yeah. Yoga, that's what he said. Yoga's a practice of discipline, and I have enough discipline for the both of us.
Beautiful.
I know, and it was kind of straight to the point. I've never had to say it because no one has ever
I haven't had that experience
in class or after class or said anything. But I get it how you can be fascinated with your teachers and, you know, look at them as this certain person and and you're helping me and you're making me feel good. No different than if you had a therapist who was making you feel better and you worked your way through with them. And I feel
or
like
a massage therapist. I feel like people tend to have, especially when you go to the same person, you start.
Yeah, that's happened, and I'm really. But I can feel that, like if it was to happen, and I can see that coming. Yeah. So I'm really good at blocking. Okay. I'm really good at blocking and stopping that energy from even having to exchange. From energy of even having to go back and forth. So you'll understand, and I'm very good with my boundaries. No, this is my job. Did you want to read book? Have a good time. You know, I don't.
I'll see you next week.
It's not personal though, but I'm okay.
But next time it might be $10 extra an hour. I might charge you a little bit more. So, okay. So what about in yoga class? Some other things that people might want to know, like, does weight matter?
Not at all.
Does height matter?
Not at all.
Does your hair?
No, I would suggest. Sometimes people come to yoga with like fresh hair, which is how Randy and I hair ends up like this. Where Randy has, you know, these 2-strand twists because we cannot maintain.
I sweat.
Hairstyles.
I sweat.
Right.
People feel like, how do you sweat in a yoga? I'm like, have you been to a yoga class?
Have you been to yoga class? Right. But these twists right here are able to sustain her, so she protects her hair underneath to do it. And these locks, the same thing, sustain me because I can't maintain a hairstyle with that. So I would probably say if people are like, oh, I just got my hair done, it stops them, especially us as African American women. If we have hairstyles, yoga and working out stops us from doing so much stuff. We're so attached to this thing of, well, I got to have my hair okay, and I got to come in with my scarf in. So probably don't get your hair, or don't be attached to what your hair is going to be. You are going to sweat, so wrap it up nice and tight. Yeah. You know, even like it would be if you were going to go to bed. Yeah. You can do that. That whole scarf thing that you got to do. And I had to do those sound effects. I don't know why. But before you go to bed and come in class like that. Yeah. I don't care. Nobody cares. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's good because a lot of people do want to try and don't know. But I do feel like if you're coming straight from work, that's fine. You showered that morning. But if you've been like on a bender the night before and coming to yoga class without showering, without brushing your teeth, That's just rude.
Because the alcohol.
This is
the liquor.
But not even only that. I have a friend. I don't know if you're listening. Hey, girl. I invited to a yoga class, and she's a wake and bake.
Oh, she wake up and smoke.
Yeah, and
we got to do an episode about that too.
Yeah, and I know high yoga is a thing. Elevated yoga is a thing, and no judgment. But again, this was a hot yoga class, so we're in 100-degree heat, and first she was late, so she was the need to, I don't have a mat. Absolutely. And then and then she gets in there and she's giggly and everything else, but then you reek of, I was so embarrassed, but everybody loves her anyway, so I was embarrassed. That was my own shit, but it was just one of those things where I was like, oh my god, right. My friend is like,
because you can smell it, and you can smell it when you're in yoga too.
It comes out your pores.
Absolutely comes out your pores.
But I heard that high yoga is good. I don't know. I've never done it. So.
I've never tried it. I've been interested. I would love to try it. But honestly...
Maybe we'll test that out on a future podcast.
Yeah, let's test it out.
I don't even know.
But...
I'm not a good...
I'm not real productive when I'm high.
I'm not a
so
good
I
smoker.
Don't know
anyway
how my practice is going to be when I'm high. I feel like it would be yin.
Yeah, I don't know how you could do a vinyasa class.
And yin is more a chill class. You hold poses for a long period of time.
More restorative.
I feel like if I got high, I'm going to want to lay down and just like...
I want to go to sleep.
I want to chill.
But if you came to my class high, I don't think I would care.
No, I would.
I don't care.
I don't care. But not so much drunk. You can't really do it drunk. Because that's too much.
Another thing to expect in yoga class will be people touching. Like teachers touching.
Yes. I touch a lot.
So I don't touch as much as some teachers. But
why not?
Probably because most of the time I'm practicing with you.
So look,
so there's that.
My stuff, because you know what I do when I touch. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, so I'm practicing with you, but when I'm not and I notice alignment, we might come and touch, and we're gonna touch you where we want you, and we're not gonna shift you and move you in a rough manner, but like delicately move your shoulder back and say, okay, let's switch your alignment. Maybe touch your belly, maybe a hip. Or leg, or if you're in a child's pose, teachers will come press you down.
Or no, I actually I'll do a lot of work on your neck, your head and poses. I'll stretch, I'll get into your hips. But again, massage, so I do other stuff.
Right.
But I do, between each people, I carry hand sanitizer with me. And I go, no, for real, between each person, because about carrying germ from person to person, people are sweating.
Yeah.
So I maintain my cleanliness before I touch you.
So, but I was going to tell a newbie to not be alarmed if a yoga teacher comes up and, adjusts you. And some teachers will ask, do you mind? Or do you care about touch? You don't? I've been asked.
I never ask.
I've been asked.
I just do it. Some people, I have been denied before, no, that's okay. And that's fine. I'm fine with it. I don't get offended. I say, oh, okay, cool. And I move to the next person. But most people, in fact, now most of the students are like, you didn't touch me in class. Well, is you okay today? And I might just have not gotten to it, but I try to make a conscious effort to at least place my hand on each student in class, because it is this exchange of energy that you feel between them that makes it more intimate for them.
That just brought up a thought for me when you said,
I could tell something was festering in the eyes.
When the person said you didn't touch me in class, that brings up for me how attached we get to our teachers in our class. So when I was in South Florida, I was going to my class every day. I had a spot. And we practice with mirrors. So I had a spot right next to this seam. Yeah, this is a do not do. Next to the seam in the mirror, and that was my spot. It was to the right of the teacher. And then if I would get to class 2 minutes later than expected, guarantee 1 or 2 people will be eyeing for my spot, and I would get there and it'd be those same 1 or 2 people every time that was sitting in my damn spot. So it was like church. we did that episode last week. It was like church, like when you have a spot at church and you get there a couple minutes late.
Do y'all hear her?
Somebody's sitting in a spot and you look.
That is not your spot.
But it is in your mind. So then what happened, what I had to do is start challenging myself to go to different places around the room because I was getting stuck in that's my spot, my mat goes there, or having an attitude because somebody's in my spot. So now my whole yoga practice, I got an attitude for the first 20 minutes of practice because this asshole done took my spot. Who do they, don't they know this is my spot?
Don't they know this is my spot? That's the most non-yoga thing
you
can do. And I've done this in the class before.
It's the worst.
I will see the same people in class and I'll go, hey guys, so we're doing something different today. Everybody in the back go in the front, everybody in the front go in the back.
And I've had teachers do that. And
it shakes your ground.
It does. And so it just does. And you need that.
Yeah.
I've had teachers do that. And then once I noticed that I was doing that and I started switching around the room, I realized that we kind of gravitate, even in class, like in school, if you could pick your own seat, people gravitate to the right or the left, the front or the back. And typically, if you were to get on a bus, you would gravitate towards the right or the left, the front or the back. Mm-hmm. It's your comfort zone. And so I was creating that same pattern in yoga. And at one point,
attachments.
Then when I woke up, and then it's like, this is why I'm here. Mm-hmm. So this is where I go with the whole thing about where I've grown in my practice and being a better person because of coming. Because I was still coming to yoga as the former me. And then eventually I'm looking at myself. Like, girl, you were arguing about a spot in your head to someone who's coming here to get peace.
And a spot that has nothing to do with you, for real. This is not your yoga studio. You're paying them. You're paying them. They're not paying you anything, and it's a piece of the floor that you think belongs to you. So none of it's real. None of it's real anyway.
Right. So don't act like that when you come in a class. Like, you might have a favorite area, but just be open
to moving.
And then don't assume that. Another thing, yoga etiquette. If you need blocks or straps or anything to help you, don't look at that as something that makes you weak, or it's an accommodation. And even I teach, and sometimes because of my sciatica, I do depend on a block more, just because.
You know what I want you to stop saying? Mm-hmm. My sciatica.
Oh, did I say my sciatica?
You said it. You said it about
before, take it away.
Before class started, and even though we all have that sciatic nerve, I just want you to address it as the sciatic issue, if you're going to call it that, and not claim it to be as yours.
We just had therapy.
Was that therapy?
Yeah.
Okay. I meant to tell you earlier when you said it. And again, because we all do have that sciatic area, but I don't want you attaching yourself to that.
I am.
Mm-hmm. That was it. We can keep, I'm sorry, we got distracted. We can keep going, but.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
Yeah.
The sciatic issue.
Yep. That's it.
All right.
So.
Okay, what else?
I think that's
you know what? If you're going to bring children to a class. So I feel like everybody can benefit from yoga, and everybody does benefit from yoga. I think you need to know your environment and know your studio. Mm-hmm. All studios cannot accommodate children.
No.
Size, space, time. Right. You have to know your child. Yes. If your child is disruptive, or if your child can sit peacefully, or if your child wants to do it and practice and can stay for an hour or 90 minutes in a classroom, just know. But I will always call
ahead of time to ask them first. Absolutely.
Don't assume that you're too old.
No.
Don't assume that you're too young.
No. You're always, whatever your body shape is the right shape.
Perfect.
However your hair is, it's perfect. It's perfect.
And people say, I can't come to yoga because I'm not flexible enough. You can come to yoga.
I don't like that statement. I really don't like it, because yoga is a flexibility practice of the mind. The body is second. So are you flexible enough mentally?
No, obviously
not. To come in class? Because I will tell people all the time, all you have to do is come in here and lay down. Just come lay down and breathe. Come here and lay down and breathe with us to get through. Even if you don't feel like you can move, it doesn't matter.
And yoga can be expensive. So be prepared. I just want to say that there are community practices. There are some free classes. But as with anything of value, something that's valuable to you, I'm not going to go somewhere, and as people do this, they try to talk you out of the value of your price.
So I want to say about the value of it is that yoga does help the flexibility to the mind. So it can lower whether it's your blood pressure, regulate that, relieve stress, relieve anxiety, relieve symptoms of depression. And I'm not saying curing. I'm not a doctor, even though I know a couple minutes ago I said I was a doctor, but that was about something else.
That was being facetious.
Yes, right. But not about this. But it does, right. But it does calm you down. It also has its own chiropractic thing to it, because all of the poses we go to, whether it's to left, the right, they're in every direction that the spine can go. And I think it's like 6 different directions, right? So it's front, back, side, whatever you're going to do. Rotating, right? All of those things is very chiropractic. So the muscles and the bones have the ability to readjust themselves to go back into a line to relieve symptoms of, like, how long has the side thing been bothering you?
It's gotten better over the years, but this is probably 4 years in. And so yoga has helped. So,
right, yes. To get through it. And so I've had a lot of issues too in my body, but when I keep up a regular practice, it's better. When I practice 2-3 days a week, I feel better.
We have a friend that is a cancer survivor. And doesn't she say yoga saved her? It helped her physically. It helped her through those times when she was just very tight and her body had changed because of the medication and because of her procedures and because of her therapy.
Yes.
And that yoga helped to offset some of the other things she was going through medically. So when you come to a yoga studio, wherever you decide to go, wherever you live, classes could be anywhere from $10 a class to $20 a class.
If not more, sometimes 20
and sometimes
to 25.
more. And just with anything that is of value to you, be prepared to invest in it.
Because here's the question. Getting yourself healthy and staying on the right path is not as expensive as being sick.
Right.
When you're sick, it's way more expensive
to get healthy.
Right. For your treatment, all of your medical bills, your doctor bills, that's way more expensive than what you have to deal with now. I want to ask a question before we go, Randy.
Okay.
So we're penduluming this.
Do you want to explain what this is? Or do you just want to do it?
I forgot to explain. So this is a pendulum, and what it does is that you ask it questions, and then the pendulum answers. So when I first started, I asked it what was yes, which yes on here is clockwise. So it's a piece of stone. This happens to be amethyst, which I absolutely love, and it's also my birthstone. But you ask it questions, and then it answers you, and sometimes it doesn't know. So this particular pendulum, yes, is clockwise. No is counterclockwise, and undecided is doop, 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 doop. That's what it does. So I'm going to keep my hand still.
Do you want me to ask a question? Or do you have one in mind?
You ask, well, let me still this. I feel like, wait, I got to put my glasses on. Oh, gosh, I can't see. I think they're dirty, right? I got to keep these things on more. Okay. You can ask.
So my question is, should Lisa and I continue this podcast? I don't know. So y'all have to let us know.
I don't know. It doesn't know. Wait.
It's going
clockwise.
That's a yes.
Okay. What's the next question?
I don't know. I'm kind of stumped and stupefied that it changed in the middle of it.
Let's do another question. So you don't think it's a hoax? Let's try this. Is my name Tasha?
People listening need to go check this out on YouTube. It says no. On the Sometimes We Talk About Yoga podcast channel.
Yes.
So you can see what she just did.
So, okay, do we have another question before we go? I don't know. Let's think of one before we go. Keep it nice and still.
Do the people love us?
Wait, let me make it still.
Wait.
Okay, ask.
Do the people love us?
Because I don't want people to think I'm trying to influence this.
The question is, do the people love our podcast? Clockwise.
So we'll be back.
We will be back. We'll be back after the new year. Look at my cute little sweatshirt.
I want that sweatshirt. Can you guys
Isn't that cute?
She ordered this and didn't order me one?
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
She always knows about this stuff. I don't know about that kind of stuff.
Okay. I'll do better. New Year's resolution.
Bye, guys.
We love you. Check us out. You're going to miss us for a few weeks. We'll come back in the new year, 2019.
We'll recycle the old ones, though.
We will. You guys can share, listen, like, subscribe, comment. Send us messages.
Also, to let us know, what do you want us to talk about?
Absolutely.
That's always good content. What do you want us to talk about?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. We might not take your advice. Or we might call you for, a little side interview like we did for our ladies last week. Yeah. We do that a lot. We get a lot of inspiration from all of you. We love you. Bye. And Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa.